so if anyone wouldn't mind, can you move there just in case we have any late arrivals?
Or not.
Or not. Your arms. Okay, that's it. Welcome to the annual Classics and Archaeological Society play. Round of applause, come on. It's really good to see all of you here. It's been 3 years or so since we last had a chance to do this properly, so it's nice to finally be back at it. Just quick notice, can anyone put phones or any electronic devices on silent? If you want to take pictures, that's fine. Just try not to disturb anyone around you if you're going to do so. And we will also have a photographer over there who will take some splash tab as well, so warning for that. And in the event of a fire, please make your way calmly towards the exits, as that will give the majority like me a chance to run out ahead of you all and live to do a play another day. For those of you who don't know anything about the play, it was written or performed for the first time in either 391 or 392 BC by the comic playwright Aristophanes. And without giving away too much of the plot, the play asks the question, what if women were in charge? I know with the Greeks you would have thought they'd make a tragedy rather than a comedy, but and as you will soon see how they thought that will go. So can I ask you all to please put your hands together for the Assemblywomen!
Bright eye of light that issues from my lamp, most beautiful design of clever minds, your birth, just like a god's, I celebrate. Since born upon a potter's turning wheel, your nostrils shed a light fit for the sun. Send out the signs of fire that we agreed. Yes, you alone are privy to our deeds. When in our bedrooms all we women move in Aphrodite's twists, and you stand near. As bodies writhe and bend, your eye is there to look on all. You do not get them. You alone see what lies between our thighs, when shining there to singe our bushy hair, or when for food or juice of grape we steal into the larder. You assist us well, yet never blab our secrets to the neighbours. So in return for this, I'll let you share the plans my friends decided at the Skira. Yet, not a single woman's here on time. It's getting close to dawn. Very soon the assembly starts. We need to find good seats, to use a phrase Farré made famous, and settle down without attracting notice. What could have held them up? Perhaps they can't get a hold of the woolen beards they were told to bring along, or maybe creeping out in their husbands' cloaks proved difficult for them. Ah, now I see a lamp approaching. I'd better stand back here, in case a man is coming down the street.
We'd better get along. Just now I heard the Herald's voice call out a second time.
I've been out of bed and waiting for you to come right through the night. Now it's time for me to call upon my neighbour here, with a tap on the door. Her husband mustn't be disturbed.
I heard you think a scratch for was passing in my shoes. I was a mistake, dear, because my husband, he comes from Southern, is that friend of mine, was rowing me all night on top of the bed.
Look, here come other women along the street. They're friends of ours. I recognise their faces.
Well, hurry up there. You know an oath was sworn. The last one of us will arrive to pay a fine. 9 liters of wine and a bag of chickpeas too. Oh, do you see that woman there? Oh, pink and white. She's wearing her husband's shoes. But surely with a husband like him, she can't do this at night.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, can you see the Poppleton's wine? Oh, that's the good. Wait, Is there a torch she's waving in her hands? And I can see two other familiar faces and not other women approaching here. Looks like we're turning out in force.
Right. All sit down. I'll start by asking you, now that I can see that everyone's arrived, have you done what we decided with Skewer?
I certainly have. I let my armpits grow far sharper than a bush, as we agreed, and whenever my husband went to the Agora, I would cover my body in oil and spend the day in the sun to try to get a tan.
Me too. I actually threw my razor out, so I make sure that I grew his feet on another.
Oh, Trace.
And have you got the woolen beards which we agreed you'd bring along with you to the meeting here?
Not half bad, but look at this beauty here.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's better than a figurative.
And the rest of you?
They've got them look, they're nodding.
I can see you've made the other preparations. You've all obtained your husband's shoes as well as their sticks. Exactly as we agreed.
Yes, this is Lambert's stick he brought along. I smuggled it out when he was fast asleep.
Are you sure that's Lamier's stick, not Fatting Lamier's?
With a stick that size, he only needs a jerkin, like that of Argus. 100 eyes and all to make himself a terrifying coward. But now we must proceed with preparations, before the stars have vanished from the sky. The assembly, which we're ready to attend, will start its meeting once the dawn's arrived.
Oh, you're right, you must make sure that we get the seats below the platform facing the Britannies.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought I'd bring these with me. I can't walk while the meeting's filling up.
Filling up, you silly thing.
Of course, why not? I still be able to listen when coming wool. My children haven't a stitch of clothing to wear.
You'd sit there combing wool. You're not supposed to give the men a glimpse of a woman's body. What a pretty mess we'll face if the meeting's all full and one of us steps in with our clothes hitched up, revealing a large and hairy missus. But if we're first to occupy our seats, we won't be noticed after in our clothes. And once we've got our long beards attached, no one will doubt our male identity. Agirus borrows his beard from Pronomus, so people forget he used to be a woman too. And now he dominates political life. He's the reason why, on this very day, we've got to execute our daring deed, in the hopes that we can seize the city's affairs and try to change its fortunes for the better. As things stand now, we've neither sails nor oars.
But how could female minds in congregation make public speakers?
Perfectly, we'll see. It said the young men who get knocked about the most grow to make outstanding politicians. Well, we possess this qualification too.
Not so sure we've had real life experience.
But that's precisely why we've gathered here, to rehearse our lines before the meeting starts. So get your beards attached without delay, and likewise, anyone else who's practiced speaking.
Oh well, I'm all women experts with our tongues.
Then fasten on your beard and turn into a man. I'll fasten on my own beard too, in case I just have to speak.
Oh, look at us all, Praxagora, darling. We really are a terribly funny sight.
Why? Funny.
Well, it's just as though you fasten like beards and cuttlefish with a leper on with it.
Official purifier, carry the cat. Stand forward, people. Ari Chremes, stop talking. You, come to the front for a seat. Who wants to speak?
I do.
Then put on a garland and good luck.
All right.
Now, speak.
Before I get a drink?
A drink?
That's why I put the garland on.
Wait with you. You would make this gay from the real assembly.
Oh, surely they drink there too.
Just listen to her.
I swear they really do, and it's unmixed too. Just think of their decisions, the kind of things they bring themselves to do. This craziness suggests inebriation. What's more, they're always pouring out libations, whereas it's not to have themselves to wine. And then it's abuse just like real drunks, and the archers have to carry the worst ones out.
Well, you can sit back down. You're simply useless.
I wish I never wore this beer. I'm so warm I'm going to die of thirst.
Does another woman wish to speak?
I do.
Then put on a garland. We need to press ahead. Make sure to speak in a good, deep, masculine voice while leaning stylishly upon your stick.
I would have preferred that one of the usual speakers should put my place while I stay seated. As it is, though, I need to put my own case. The taverns mustn't fill their butts with water. That's my suggestion. By the two goddesses.
The two goddesses? Are you mad, you silly woman?
What's wrong?
swore an oath no man would ever use, though the rest of your speech was quite a skillful piece. By your colors, I think. Sit down. I've had enough of you as well. I won't step one step towards the assembly unless you've got our speeches polished up first.
Right, put my garland on. I'll try again. I think I understand now what's needed here.
This is my new suggestion. Assemblywomen.
You address the men as women, you imbecile.
That's because the speaker was there. I glanced the first time I thought I was speaking with women.
Right. Give me a garland. I shall speak myself. I call upon the gods to send success and fortune to my plans. This land belongs to me as well as you, my citizens. I, vexed and grieved to see the poor condition the city's affairs are in. I notice how she always has as leaders the rotten types. If one of them is decent for one whole day, he's rotten then for 10. If you switch to another, he'll only make things worse. Now, it's hard to give advice. You're easily piqued. But you shy away from those who wish you well and keep on turning to those who wish you ill. There was a time when assemblies hardly mattered and everyone was sure Aguirus was a rotten man. But now, the assembly counts. Those who draw pay adore Aguirus, while those who don't regard the rest as frauds for living on their payment from the assembly.
You're absolutely right, by Aphrodite.
An oath by Aphrodite. Are you mad, you silly woman? How fine that would have sounded in the assembly.
I wouldn't have said it there.
Then don't do now. And just remember how these people thought this city would never survive without this league. But when it happened, they hated it so much, the one who proposed it disappeared for good. Suppose we need to launch a fleet. The poor will vote for that, but not the rich or the farmers. At one time, Corinth and you feel mutual spite. The next, you're backing one another's credit. Our guys are stupid, Aristophanes is shrewd. We caught a glimpse of peace, but Praxagora is angry that his services aren't required. That's the way to praise. The blame for all these things is yours, the people's. You're happy to draw your pay from public funds, yet each one of you thinks in terms of private gain, while the common good just reels like a simus. Well, if you heed my words, there's still some hope. I propose that we hand the city's business over to women. After all, inside our homes, they hold the purse strings tight and run our affairs.
Quite wonderful. Yeah, let's do some more. Good chat.
Their traits are quite superior to ours. As I'll explain, for one thing, all of them maintain traditional ways of dying wool. You'll never find them trying to innovate. Contrast that point with what the city does. If something old seems fine, it can't be cut and must be replaced by novel schemes. The women sit and cook. They always have. They carry things on their heads. They always have. They hold the thesmophorium. Always have. They bake their pastry cakes. They always have. They grind their husbands down. They always have. Keep adulterers hidden. They always have. They eat their secret rations. They always have. They like to drink pure wine. They always have. They really love being fucked. They always have. So let us, men of Athens, hold debate and hand the city over to women. No need to ask what policies they'll have. Let's simply give them power. Remembering this, as mothers of our sons, they'll want to save the soldiers' lives, but also send them food to boost their rations while they're on campaign. A woman is good at finding new resources, and once in power, could never be deceived. They're too familiar with deceit themselves. I'll say no more. If my proposal's followed, the future holds prosperity for all.
Oh, Praxagora, darling, what an amazing speech. Where on earth did you learn or find your skills?
In the war, I lived with my husband on the Nix. I used to listen to speakers and learn their words.
That explains why you made such a terribly clever speech. We women must now elect you on the spot to be a general and carry out your plans. But what if confounding Catalo shall seduce? What kind of response will you give to him in the meeting?
I'll tell him his mind's all muddled.
Oh, you know that already.
And I'll say that he's demented.
You know that too.
Then I'll say that his pottery is dreadful stuff and his politics are...
Yeah, but what if Mary, Leonidas, abuses you?
I'll say to him he should squint up a dog's backside.
Alright, but what if people start to shout and heckle?
I'll love every minute. I'm used to being knocked.
And supposing that the archers try to drag you off, what then?
I'll use my elbows, like this. They'll never grab me around the waist.
And if they withdraw, we shall lay off. Well, I think we plan for all contingencies. The only thing we haven't discussed is that we mustn't forget to vote by raising our hand, since we're also used to lifting up our legs.
Yes, that might prove problematic. We'd better vote by keeping one arm outside of our cloaks. Well, now we must be moving. Hitch up your tunics and don't delay in putting on your shoes, just like you've often seen your husbands do when going off to the assembly of the town. When you've done that, take the beards you brought with you and adjust them to fit you well. And when you've done that, take your husband's cloaks, which you smuggled from the house, and take their sticks and lean on them while walking down the road, while singing an old men's song. Just like the ones the country people say.
I think they do them. The rest of us should go ahead of them. We get them and we'll swing to the next.
Yes. Hurry along. You know that those who don't turn up to the Nix at the crack of dawn must slink back home with nothing at all to show.
The time has come, my fellow men, for us to be proceeding. Yes, man is the word, we must remember. Despite our human nature, the danger that we face is great. Suppose we were detected in the act of secretly embarking on this venture.
Then let's get to the assembly, fellow men. The arguments make it right.
Unless you're there at dawn, show the dust on your feet, the belly full of heart inside, the sorrow look on your face. You won't get your 3 ogles paid.
So come on now, old greybeard, we really must rattle along.
Be sure to pay some fee. Must maintain the show. Can't afford any wrong notes.
And when we get our tickets, be sure that we vote on the measures proposed by our fellow women. Our fellow men. No, come on, let's push aside these urban folk. We must really get in.
They used to gossip all day long. Now they come crowding in here. It was different in the old days. Moronides was general, a man of fine stock. Then no one got a payment for running the city's affairs.
No, people would bring along a flask of wine, some bread, 2 onions, maybe 3 olives. Nowadays, they just show up for the money. 3 ogles is all they want.
Turn this public service job into a labourer's job.
What's going on here? Well, there's my wife! No sign of her this new dog. Been lying away for ages needing a shit. I didn't find my shoe and held in the dark. I told her in bed without success, while the dog collector kept knocking at my door, mocking me. That's why I had to put on this dress that belongs to my wife. But where can I find this hostages? It doesn't matter during the night. You will see me shitting as early as this. What a fool I was to take a wife at my early age. I deserve to be flogged at a mass. I'm sure my wife was going to do some mischief. Anyhow, time to ease myself.
Who's over there? Blepyros from the door.
Afraid it's me, alright.
What's going around here? You look all yellow. There must be something wrong. Don't say Kinesius has crapped on you.
Certainly haven't. So I come outside this way, like this, most of my life.
Well, where's your cloak?
I don't know if it's this idea. I searched for much for my success.
Didn't you tell your wife to find it for you?
Some Herald. She isn't inside the house at all. I'm afraid she has just slept outside without my knowledge. She's up to some scheme or other.
I'll be blowed! Your experience matches mine precisely. My wife too has left the house and taken with her the cloak that I was wearing. She seems to have taken my shoes as well.
I died license! I had a problem too! I needed a good shelter. I couldn't find my shoes. So I shoved my feet inside the boots. Otherwise I would soil with my nice, clean blanket. What's it all about? Can't remember what that was. And the fought. Didn't fight good breakfast.
Well, that's what I think. I can't imagine she's doing anything worse. That must be a rope that you're excreting.
Certainly trying.
I've got to go. It's time to be off to attend the assembly meeting. That's if I can find my warden on the cloak.
How do we told you? Just remember that there's something causing a block.
Surely not the blockage for Zimbalatti mentioned.
My dying license is certainly clogging me up. What am I going to do? Other than just my present discomfort when I eat again. I don't know how I will find an exit. This door finds the well truly bolted. This work is almost constipated. And so very vetted doctor. But which of them? I need someone trained in anal matters. What about Alánagh? Maybe he might deny it. Let someone hurry and fetch it down testimonies. The judge only confirms he makes he knows that we are allowed to leave the good shit. Oh God, some child murder for Leach! Please don't let me burst! Don't keep me bolted up! I don't want to be a common chamber boss!
Hey you! What's up? You're shooting us shit!
Something else!
Is that your white little dress that you wear?
Like it.
I just got back from the assembly meeting.
Old friend told me.
Well, there was a meeting.
I think so. Did you manage to get the beer bowls?
If only I had. I arrived too late, which makes me feel ashamed.
No need to feel that way. I mean, you'll probably starve what you do. I feel it on things.
Yes.
What's going on there?
A massive crowd of people. Unprecedented hordes that filled the pews. When we looked at them, there were so many cobblers with their white faces. It really begged belief to see so many white faces again in the assembly. That's why there were plenty of us who missed the pay.
Do we have white guess no pay?
You wouldn't have thought the pay being around the second corporal!
Get ass until I I'm in your bill for me! Boss was mine. For your measures. But what was happening to make it wrong turn up in such good time?
The reason was, the Brittany's had put down on the agenda the city's preservation. And straight away, the area-eyed nuclear sidled to the rostrum.
I fucking hate that guy.
Likewise. He started to say, you see, the city now.
It's in need of preservation?
It's in need of preservation. She started to shout and heckle. You see, then Royal, a brilliant fellow after him, came along. Without a cloak, or so it seemed to us. He himself insisted that he had one on. His speech was full of populist arguments. You see that I'm in need of preservation. I need some decent clothes. But nonetheless, I'll tell you how to save the whole of Athens. If all the needy folk were given cloaks by tailors every winter, we'd find that no one ever suffered from pleurisy. And those with no beds or blankets either should wash and then go off to sleep tonight in the tanner's shops. Any tanner who refuses in the winter times should have to pay a 3-cloak fine.
What excellent proposals! It would have found unanimous support if you'd also said the grain retailers ought to supply the poor with enough food for everyone's dinner, or else be trashed. Either way, now's the days full of pain, you know what I mean?
I remember now that, oh God, the scenery the scenes that he made, people started to shout. It's scandalous that he should dare to speak when the subject is the city's preservation. He doesn't know the result of the eyesight. And he just knew Clytus just looked back at them, well, what else can I do? And after him then, there was a young and handsome man. His face was white. He looked like Nikias. He led the Rossi to speak and started to say, we ought to hand the city over to women! Probably from the word of laws, that is. The country folk just grumbled dissent.
Quite right too, brothers.
But they lacked the numbers. The speaker shouted on, nothing but praise to women, but calling you using names.
Like what?
Well, he said, to start with, that you're a ruler!
Just me?
Please, finish. And also a thief!
And you?
And furthermore, an informer!
Just me?
And all men as well. Yes, every man.
No disgrace with that.
A woman's head, he said, is packed with sense and ideas for making money. He said they never divulge their secrets from the tested foil. Well, you and I, we keep leaving council business.
Can't be stopped.
And so on with all this useless chatter. And then he also said, our women lend each other things, like clothes and precious jewels and drinking cups. Informally, no witnesses involved. You always give them back and never steal. Well, most of us, you just can't be trusted at all.
We're even cheated in front of witnesses.
Exactly. There are many, many other things he praised in women. They never inform, bring prosecutions, or try to destroy democracy, and much besides.
I swear, Hermes, that's absolutely true. Well, what was decided?
To give the women power. The Assembly thought this was the only thing still left in the court.
It's been agreed.
Indeed.
We that everything in male's control is now entrusted to women.
Precisely so.
We that it won't be me, but my wife who goes to court.
And it won't be you, but your wife, who keeps the family.
Won't be getting out of bed at a groan.
These things, my friend, now are all the task of women. And you can stay in bed and fart at ease.
Well, of course, one fear for men as old as us. Spoken as well with women go to the reins of power. Forceful. Because what? Give them 6! Oh!
Surely not. What if we just can't manage?
They're going to allow us breakfast!
Then better comply, to guarantee we get both sex and breakfast.
Compulsory sex is a horrible thing.
Surely, if it serves the city, each man must do his duty.
Goes to show this truth near of saying, no matter what nonsense we get up to in Athens, it all works out eventually for the best.
Pray to Athena and all the gods it does. I must be off. Keep well.
You too, Blepyros.
Blepyros, get that thing checked by the doctor.
Check to see the dog behind us following us. Turn around and look. Roads are everywhere. You have to make sure we're not followed and someone sees that we're winning.
While walking along, be sure to stop with both your feet.
The shame we all would have to face are designed to be exposed on our husbands. So stick together in close ranks and keep your eyes open all around, this way and that, to left and right. We can't afford to see our plan collapse into disaster.
We're nearly at the point from which we set out to go to the assembly. Look, I see our general's house in the distance. That genius woman who we elected to be in charge.
Ah, I see her. She's obviously coming back from the assembly. We probably need to get rid of these disguises now. Long have they been chafing our cheeks.
We mustn't tarry then. We've every reason to start removing our disguises.
Well, women, what success we've had today. Things have turned out exactly as we planned. But now, we must be quick before we're seen. Discard your cloaks, get rid of all men's shoes, unloose the leather reins that draw so tight. And lastly, throw away your sticks. But you, keep all these women in order while I slip inside the house before my husband sees me and put this cloak back where I took it from. as well as all the other things I borrowed.
Mayor, everything's off. It's up to you to tell us how to implement your plans. I know, I've never met a shrewder one.
Don't leave. I'll need advice in carrying out the office to which I found myself elected. In the Assembly's noise and fury, you proved your mettle.
Where do you think you've been, Praxagora?
What's that to you?
What's that to me? How cool.
You surely won't accuse me of having a lover.
Not more, perhaps.
Well, you're free to check.
Okay. What now?
Why, smell my hair for some trace of scent.
What? Can't a woman be fucked without some scent?
No. I can't. More sophisticated.
What made you then slip out of dawn and take my cloak with you?
I was sent for in the night by a friend of mine who was giving birth.
Why not tell me first before you left?
I left without ado. The woman's message requested me to go without delay.
After informing me.
Instead of showing concern for the suffering mother.
Why not take your very own cloak? You stripped off mine instead and left me there to lie like a corpse. You only forgot to bring the funeral flask.
The air was chilly. You know that I am small and weak. I wrapped myself inside your cloak for warmth. But you, my husband, were lying all warm and snug when I left the house.
Why not take your very own cloak? Why do you have to take my boot? What about my stick?
I thought I'd scare off muggers who try and steal the cloak. I wanted to imitate you by stamping my feet and striking the ground as I walked along.
I do look pretty good when I do that. Not the point. You know, I've lost a bag of wheat I could have paid for with my assembly attendance.
Never mind. The news is good. A baby boy.
Did Assembly's have a baby?
A woman, of course. But has there been an assembly?
Certainly has. I told you about it yesterday.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
You haven't heard the news?
No, certainly not.
Prepare yourself for something special. They say the city has been handed over to women!
To weave its clothes?
To be in charge!
Of what?
Every single power from the city's existence.
By Aphrodite. That means the city's future is a happy one.
Why is that?
For many reasons. No longer will people be free to harm the city. We'll put a stop to bribing of witnesses as well as to informing those.
Heaven's name, don't do this! Don't deprive me of my living!
You really should allow your wife to speak.
Fucking head bring you!
There'll be an end to mugging, an end to envy, an end to paupers walking around half naked, an end to abuse, an end to harrowing debtors.
Immense improvements, surely, if she's right.
I'll give you proof. You'll soon be on my side, and even he won't contradict my claim.
Rouse your mind. Think of philosophical thought. Your female friend's intelligence depends on it.
Amid prosperity that's shared by all, your eloquent tongue will glorify the citizens to whom you bring such countless benefits.
Never. Show your worth. The city needs a brilliant new invention. Make sure your plans are quite original in thought and deed. This audience hates to see old stuff served up again.
Proceed at once and get to grips explaining your intentions. To keep things moving quickly always pleases the spectators.
Well, now I have no doubts about the merits of my case, but will the audience, that's my fear, accept my innovations instead of sticking with the old, familiar repertoire?
You needn't be afraid. There's nothing we Athenians like better than abandoning some tradition.
In that case, please don't interrupt or start to shout and heckle until you've understood my scheme and hear it from my lips. My plan is that all property from now on must be shared. We must abolish rich and poor, with one man owning acres, while down the road another lacks enough land for his grave. One man owning many slaves, another owning none. I now decree that everyone must share the same resources.
But how we share it?
You'd even be the first to eat the dung.
Isn't dung what we share?
So what? Don't interrupt. I was just about to tell you that all the city's land and silver, as well as private property, will now belong to all. We women will use these common goods to feed the population, for we'll control expenditure and budget circumspectly.
Suppose that someone has no land, but hidden properties, gold and silver coins.
He'll need to add them to the pool. He won't escape unless he lies.
Lying is what makes it wealthy.
It won't pay. What use would it have?
Why wouldn't it have a use? As things stand, it's wealthy folk who steal to boost their riches.
That used to be the case, my friend, when previous laws applied, but once our lives are communist, withholding wealth won't pay.
Suppose that someone sees a girl and wants to hook her fire. He'd pay for her private wealth, and then once he'd given her with shagging, he'd still enjoy the common goods.
But sex will now be free. For women too will all be shared, yes, both for making love and also bearing anyone's child.
But when men turn exclusively to the prettiest ones, it's theirs I want to ban.
But the less attractive ones will sit beside the beauties. Before a man can take his pick, he'll lay a vile one first.
Once we older men have had it off with the ugly ones, our fingers will start to droop. They would have I hesitate to use the word spunk to carry on.
I'm sure they won't fight for you. You needn't worry yourself at all.
What's that?
Because such impotence is just your normal state.
Your plan made sense on women's side. We made entirely sure there wouldn't be any Heralds on film. What about the men? Would women go for handsome types? Some the ugly ones?
The lousy men will track the handsome ones each night. They'll watch their movements everywhere and keep them in their sights. The women won't have access to the tall, attractive men until they've given pleasure to the little ugly fellows.
You're trying to show me your plan. I think there's a couple of flaws in it.
I don't see any flaws. Where are the flaws?
There's very little there for us. It simply come past and think the children. What happened to the children?
Well, the children will consider all men who've reached a certain age as being their own fathers.
But if parentage becomes unknown, the sons will not throttle just their own fathers, throttle everyone.
But witnesses won't let it pass. Before, they didn't bother when seeing others beaten up, but now, each time it happens, they'll intervene in case it proves to be the victim's their own father.
The general plan is fine, no doubt, but what if Epicurus and Leonardo would come up to me and call me Dad? Oh, dreadful!
I can think of something worse than that.
Go on.
If Aristoteles kisses you and claims you as his father,
Get a blessing if he tried!
you would stink of something. But he was born before our new decree came into place. You needn't fear his kiss at all.
So bad for him.
Who will work the land?
The slaves.
I forgot about the slaves, to be honest.
Your concern will be to wait for evening shadows to fall and then slip off to dinner.
What about acquiring clothes? Another urgent question.
You'll keep the ones you've got for now. We women will weave you more.
And one more question. What about fines incurred in lawfulness? How will they pay? Can't be right to use the common folk.
There won't be any need for courts.
Sure, regret that statement.
That's my view too.
Then tell me why the courts will still be needed.
Lots of reasons. Occasionally, deal with debtors if you pay up.
And how will anyone lend when all belongs to a common fund? It's clear he'd be a thief.
Oh, an excellent response.
Forgive
What? Must be a response.
Violates the broker somehow.
Sorry.
But another thing, what about in case of assault? When after-dinner balls occur? Let's hear your answer on that.
They'll forfeit some of the food they eat. When punished in this way, the price their bellies pay will make them act with more restraint.
Won't anyone ever turn to theft?
What for, when all is shared?
Won't women still cloaks by night?
Not if you sleep at home.
Won't people still gamble with dice?
What stake would be involved?
What style of life do you offer us?
A life that is shared by all. I'll turn the city into one great dwelling house for all. You'll come and go just as you please.
Where will dinner be served?
I'll soon convert the law courts and the stowers to that purpose.
What will you use the pillions for?
For bowls of wine and water. I'll also make the boys stand there for poetry recitals. They'll sing the praises of the brave and also mention any cowards. The cowards then will feel such shame they'll never die.
And this is the stickler. Where will you put the allotment racks?
Where else? In the Agora. They'll stand beside Harmonious dispensing supper tickets till everyone's satisfied and knows his place for dinner. The herald's voice will tell them which locations match their letters. For some, the royal portico, others, the one next door, and others still will find themselves in the barley market stones.
Sounds as though they're hardly starved.
They'll all receive their dinner.
Yes, but so if they fall blank, they won't be fed.
Such things will not occur with us. We'll guarantee rich fare for all so that everyone, once nicely drunk, can leave in a mood of revelry. And as they walk along the streets, the women will solicit them and call, "Come here inside my house. I've got a ripe young girl in here." "No, here instead," Mother calls as she leans her head from the window above. "I've got a girl in here who's gorgeous and white, but before you can have her, you've got to lay in my bed first." Meanwhile, all the handsome adolescents will be tracked by ugly men who'll say to them, "Just hold on there. You're wasting your time if you rush ahead. The law now states explicitly it's the ugly ones who get first fuck." Maybe you should stand outside and wait. Perhaps you ought to pass the time with a double-handed one. So, are you both quite satisfied?
Not half.
Well, I'm now needed in the Agora to receive all property that's been brought along. I'll take the fine-voiced heraldess with me. I hold elected office, so that's my task. I've got to organize communal meals, so you can have your first grand feast today.
Feast that starting immediately?
Of course. My second task is to ban slave prostitutes.
Ban slave prostitutes! What
Yeah.
for?
Is it not clear? So they can have the best young men themselves. We don't want slave girls looking beautiful and stealing sex away from freeborn women. They're allowed only to sleep with fellow slaves and must let their pussies keep their shaggy state.
Spirit, I better come along with you. I like to hear about Motiti and say, "Look, there's our Lady Devil's splendid husband."
I have to prepare my goods for the Agora. I have to check with the college.
What brings?
Thank you. Come out here, see, and see you look your best. I've picked you out from all my belongings. As basket carrier. You, basket carrier. Come out. But this is not a basket. This is my Oscar. Put it aside. Sell it on eBay later. Now, you, cooking pot. Where are you? Oh, thank you. My word! You're black! You must have bought the stuff which lies around to dice his hair. Stand over there. Now, young maid. No, she's not here. You're not the young maid, are you? No. Water carrier, bring that pitcher. The pitcher, sure. This is not a pitcher. I mean, it might. Maybe take this way. You can use this one. Sure. Okay. Well, I will put the pitcher over here. I was losing my mind. What about the young girl musician? Your sings up and open you up at dawn. Well, fortunately she was a Swiftie. Anyway, come forward next. The one who carries the bow, it should be. Oh God, what now? My physics lab manual. This is disgusting. Oh, you can't sell this. Okay. That's all Greek to me. That should be it. You can let the riffraff come and join us now. Oh, no! Doctor Who! Blue Wave! Alvin and the Chipmunks! Not Blue Wave. But still, nonetheless, I will absolutely find a buyer for these. Riffraff! You can let the riffraff come and join us now.
Think of handing in my own belongings. That would ruin me. What an idiot I would be. No, it's out of the question. Not until I had found out more and watched the situation very closely. I have sweated and stinted to get my livelihood. I don't intend to lose it like a fool before I have learned precisely what's a fool. You there? What's all this household stuff you've got here? Have you brought it out because you're moving house or to pledge against a loan?
Certainly not.
Oh, then why is it all neatly lined up like this? Don't tell me you're sending it off to public auction.
I'm about to carry it up to the Agora and hand it into the city. That's not the law.
To hand it in?
That's right.
You've sealed your fate. You ruined yourself.
How come?
How come? It's clear.
You mean I shouldn't carry out the law?
What law, you fool?
The one that's just been passed.
That's just been passed. You really are quite crazy.
I'm crazy.
Of course, there can't be anyone else who's so naive.
For doing what I'm told.
Do you think that sensible people do what they're told?
I certainly do.
No, only imbeciles.
You mean you won't give in all your things?
I'll wait until I see just what the majority do.
They're surely getting ready to take all their things and hand them into the city.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You can hear them saying so in the streets right now.
No doubt.
They're vowing they'll take along all their Blue Waste DVDs.
No doubt.
I hate your skeptical tone of voice.
And no doubt.
I'd like to see you blast them.
No doubt.
Ah.
Do you think that anyone sane will bring his goods? That's not the Athenian way. We only like to take, not to give. In fact, we're just like the gods. You only need to look at their statues' hands. For while we're praying, yes, they'll give us favorable gifts. But then they stand there stretching an upturned hand and wait to receive a gift, not to give us one.
Jesus, very interesting. Look, Mela, I've lots to do. I've got to fasten all these things. I've got to fix all my bongos and my cooking pots. Leave me alone.
You're actually going to take them.
I certainly am. Can't you see? I'm cooking all of my DVDs. That's what this is for, surely.
Such a lunacy! Instead of holding back and waiting to see what others are going to do then.
Do what?
Wait a little more still. And play for time.
What's the point?
Suppose an earthquake happened, or a lightning flash, or even if a cat came rushing past, they would all soon stop handing things in, you'd dub their heads.
A final mess I'd be in if I couldn't find any space to put my things.
Is that your worry? There will still be space in 2 days' time.
Why is that?
I know the Athenians' ways. They are quick to vote, yes, but they soon go back on all their resolutions.
I tell you, they'll bring their goods.
But what if they don't?
It's certain they're bound to do it.
But what if they don't?
The rest of us will force them.
But what if they're stronger?
I'll leave them to it.
What if they sell your goods?
No, that can't happen. Just damnation on your head!
But what if I'm dead?
I'll celebrate!
Ah! Do you want to take your goods?
I certainly do, because I see my neighbors too are taking theirs.
I'm sure Antisthenes will hand in his. I think he'd rather spend the whole month shedding a different load. He's shit!
Ah! Get lost!
But will Callimachus, the chorus trainer, have something to give?
More than Callias would.
Ah! This fellow will let his property go to ruin!
What tosh!
What
voting for such degrees, or don't you know the one who passed on the price of salt?
Certainly do.
When we voted for the use of bronze coinage.
Not half! Those coins are almost a death to me. Oh, I sold some grapes and made my way, bronze coinage in my pocket, to go and buy some grain in the Agora. Then, just as I opened my sack to have it filled, the Herald shouted, "We only accept revenant." That bastard! I can't handle this.
Exactly! And did we not only the other day all swear that we'd raise 500 talents from the tax that Euripides proposes as state accountant? At first, we all showered Euripides with praise, but then we started to think that it all seemed like the same old story, another nasty tax, and so then we all reviled Euripides.
But things are changing, friend. It used to be us, but now it's the women in charge.
Well, that makes me wary, in case they plan to piss all over me.
Ah! Your nonsense! Slaves, pick up my shit, let's go.
All citizens of Athens, attend to this. Come Herald to see our Lady General and find out how the lot has fallen out in assigning each of you to a dining hall. The tables have been set up, they're standing laden, with all the finest foods you could ever imagine. The couches of drape, the rugs and coverlets, the wine is being mixed, the perfumes are standing ready, the pears are on the spits, the fish are grilling, the cakes are baking, the nuts are roasting, the girls are being made, and to them is women are boiling cookies. Among them, Smoyos, carping red in jeer, he's cleaning the women's dishes with his lips. Yaron has turned out there in his dandy's clothes. He's cracking another joke with a young companion and has thrown away his usual cloak and shoes. So, come along. The slaves are waiting ready to serve you bread. Make sure your mouths are open.
Oh, I'll be getting along straight away. Why loiter here now that this has established this new regime?
Where are you off? You've not surrendered any of your Oscars or out on the Chipmunk movies?
To dinner?
Well, how? The women won't let you, surely, if they're smart.
I will surrender my goods.
When?
Well, I don't intend to make a fuss like you did.
You what?
I'm sure I won't be the last to hand things in.
You mean you're really going to die?
I can't avoid it. We've got to give the city all possible help if we've got good sense.
What if the women exclude you?
Charge right in, head first.
What if the women whip you?
I'll take them to court.
What if they lock you down?
Well, I'll stand by the door.
And after that, what then?
I'll snatch the food from the people who carried it.
Oh, make sure you turn up after me. Seacon, Parmenon, where are you? Pick up my worthy things. Now.
No, let me help you
No.
with that.
That won't be needed, thank you. I'm afraid that when we reach the Lady General to deposit these things, you'll claim some as your own, especially my DVDs.
Oh, blast! Now I'm going to have to find a ploy to guarantee that my property stays my own. If I get my share of the common meals as well. Yes, surely that will work. I must be off to pay my dinner at once without delay.
Anyone who wants a good time, want to come and sing with me? Young girls like some business. upon our lovely breasts. You, old decorated crop with painted face. Only death could fancy. May your mother please prove my useless! May you find to put my body where you're ready to be laid! When you're waiting to embrace your love, may you find you caught a snake! Dear, whatever will I do? There's no sign of it. We're living all alone. My mother's at the house, you see. What need I to tell you anymore? I beg you, Granny, go fetch another companion for yourself to give you solitary pleasure.
Oh no, you did!
Corrupted by Ionian lust! You've got the itch, poor thing! I think you'd use your tongue in lesbian style! You wish. You needn't think you'll poach my fun from me! You can't deprive me of my pride! You can sing whatever you like and slink out like a cat. I'm making sure it's me! They'll come too fast!
To attend your funeral, that's a new one for you, Crown.
A new one?
Well, old hags have heard them all.
It's not my age that will cause you pain!
No, I suppose it'll be the look of your cosmetics.
Just stop talking to me!
And you stop lurking around.
Why should I? I'm singing a song for my lover's sake!
Because any lover of yours is geriatric.
You'll soon see! When he comes to pay me a visit!
Well, here it comes at last.
But not for you, you shrew!
Yes, he is, you rotten cow. We'll show you soon enough. I'm going inside.
I'll go too! My bread is greater than yours!
I long to lay my girlfriend's arms. I won't have to bang a lovely heart in first. It's just too much for my man.
You there! You'll soon regret if you bang your girl! Old women are now a la mode! The law says come to me! It's only right in democracy! I'm going to watch precisely what you do!
If only gods, I found a girl alone. I've had some wine, and my lusts are not strong.
I've managed to trick that infernal little hag. She's gone away thinking I won't come back.
But here's the man we were talking about before.
Come here to me, come here to me. Oh, love of mine, come here to me. Come close to me, in my bed, resolve to spend the night with me. I feel it is a passion for the locks upon your head. The pressure of strange desires burning all my life away. Release me, hours, from this pain. Make this man come to my bed.
Come here to me, come here to me. Oh, love of mine, come down to me. Rush down and open up the door, or I'll collapse and pine away. I long to lie in your embrace and wrestle with your buttocks. Release me, Eros, from this pain. Make sure this girl comes to my bed. Those words of mine can hardly show the force of love I feel. Oh, darling, please. I beg you now, plead with all my heart. Unlock the door and hold me tight. It's for you I suffer so much. Oh, sweetheart dear, my golden treasure. Aphrodite's flower, my honeybee. Oh, lovely grace, oh, face of tenderness. Unlock the door and hold me tight. It's for you I suffer so much.
5 minutes, just give me 5, please.
You must be looking for me!
Not likely.
You're answering on my door!
I'm damned if I was.
Well, who you come to find then?
Chap who knocks around a lot.
Who's that?
Well, it isn't the fucker that you require, I'm sure.
I swear by Aphrodite, you've got no choice!
This isn't the over 60s day, you know. We put your cases off till another time. It's the under 20 girls I'm dealing with.
But sweetie, that's how things once used to be. It's us you've got to satisfy first.
I can choose the piece I like. That's the rule of the game.
You've had a free meal. We're playing a different game.
You're talking nonsense. I'm not going to this door here.
Not until you've knocked on my door first!
It's not your crumbling entry I'm looking for.
I know you love me. You're just surprised to find I'm waiting at the door. So give me a kiss.
It's just, I'm terrified of your lover, my dear.
Who?
That brilliant artist.
Do any of you get me the what he's talking about?
The one that paints my old classes with the dead. You better go before he sees you here.
I see your rain.
I see yours all right.
I swear by Aphrodite who picked me
we use in wells. When a bent old crone can be lowered down instead to lift the buckets of water up to the top.
Stop mocking me, cruel thing! It's none of your age I'd like to take to bed. You'll follow me!
Women as old as you I find repulsive. You haven't a hope of persuading me.
But this will leave you no choice.
What's
There's
supposed to be?
a decree which says you're obliged to pay me a visit.
Well, read out what it actually says.
I shall. The women hereby decree that should a young man desire a young girl, he may not bed with her until he knocks an older woman out. But if he refuses and still desires the girl, the law entitles all other women to drag him where they want and by the day.
Oh no! It sounds exactly like your housekeeps.
We've now got women's laws to be obeyed.
But what if one of my friends or demsmen should come and bail me out?
No man's allowed to handle large sums of money any longer.
Does the law permit excuses?
No dodgings allowed.
I'll claim a merchant. They get exemption.
Like how?
So what must I do?
Just follow me.
No choice.
The compulsion absolute.
In that case, lay funeral pyre for me. Throw down the broken twigs and spread the herbs. Prepare the ribbons and fetch the flasks of oil. And place the water jug outside my door.
You've also got to buy a garland for me.
Why is made of wax? Put on your tomb. It's like torn to pieces before my eyes.
What is taking you so... Where do you think you're driving him off to?
In here, he's mine.
If you've got any sense, he's young enough to be a... You're old enough to be a mother to him rather than a wife. You older ones should implement this law. You'll make the city swarm with artisans.
You loathsome creature! You made up this excuse from envy. I'll soon revenge myself on you.
Oh my god. My useless saviour. I owe my life to you, my darling. And I got all those clutches. I'll pay you back tonight for this piece of help. Your reward will be something rather long and thick.
Hey, you! I'll have you know you're breaking the law by dragging him off.
Not another one.
It says here in black and white, you must come to my bed first.
Oh, what a fate. This monster's more appalling than the last.
You'll come with me?
You've got to intervene. She's tracking me off.
I'll be dragged away by the law, not me.
It's the spirit who's tugging me off. A large and big bloody this.
Just follow me, you coward, and stop your dribble.
Please give me a chance to relieve myself. I need some time to cover myself in composure.
Don't worry, he'll shit indoors.
No, half. I feel not be able to stop. No, just please let me go. I'll provide 2 shirties to cover my veil.
Don't bother. Where do you think you're going with her?
Me going, being abducted. We are. Oh, Pam. Oh, Herald. So romantic, so diaspori. This monster's more grotesque than the one before. Please tell me what kind of thing you are. Perhaps a monkey plastered with white cosmetics. Or an old crone come back from the land of the dead.
Enough of your jibes. Now follow me in. No, me. I'll never release my grip, nor will I.
You'll tear me down in the middle, you hideous slut.
It's me, the law that wants you first.
No, not uglier woman.
Couples have been destroyed by you 2 women. How will they ever reach my lovely girl?
That's your... This takes priority.
Well, which gets laid first if I wish to escape?
Well, one towards me.
Then she should let me go.
It's me you come to first.
If she lets go.
I'm damned if I'll let you go. And so am I.
My goodness, you don't want fairy books.
Why is that?
Because you'd sever your passenger's body right down the middle.
Just shut up and come in here. No, wait to here. No.
It's clear Canonos' law is still in effect. I'm going to have to fuck while held in fetters. How am I supposed to row up on my oars at once? Like how? How am I supposed to do that?
You'll manage her right once you've eaten a dish of onions.
Not half. Oh, calamitous plight. To have to fuck these cows throughout the night. And then, once we have to deal with the toad whose cheeks are as white as a funeral urn. Ghastly life. A godforsaken life! Serve me Zeus by face annihilation if I'm to be pended with tarts like these. There is one thing though, if my ship should founder here. Just place my grave by the funeral mount and stick these tarts on top of the tomb instead of an urn. No!
Happy the people of Athens. you neighbours as well as the locals here. I finally mean myself as lady attendant. These hands stretched in lovely fragrances. They smell so fine. But a better bouquet still is the one that comes from jars with classy wine. It fills your head long after you've drunk the wine, while other bouquets quickly fade away. Yes, classy wine's the best. The very best. Pour me neat. It'll keep us happy all night. You choose a jar that has the best bouquet. Come, tell me, women. I need to find the master. Or rather, find the husband of my mistress.
If you say where you are, I think you'll soon find out.
Oh, you're right. He's here. Oh, master, what felicity is yours?
What? Me?
Yes. There isn't a happier man. Rather than anyone with superior fortune. Of 30,000 citizens, maybe more. You're the only one who's still got dinner to come.
Well, you certainly make him sound a happy man.
But where are you heading for now?
What the dinner?
You're going to be the very last of all. Your wife had already told me to come and find you and take you along in company with these girls. There's Keane wine still left you for you to drink, with other good things too. So hurry along. And if any spectators who like the play, or any judges who don't feel ill-disposed, they should go with me. The entertainment's free.
Why not issues that generous entertainment for one and all? Just keep the dinner and ready entertainment for every men and young, and even for little boys. Just that's all. Oh, it's all ready. Everybody, you want to follow me? Let's come along now.
Well, what's keeping you? You should be getting along taking those girls. Well, while you're making your way, I'll sing like the song for dinner time. I'm going to give the judges some advice. Clever judges should vote for me because I'm clever too. Those who like a hearty love should vote for me. I'll give them love. On reflection, every judge should vote for me. Don't let the order of the place to shape your attitudes of being first, but just remember when you come to place your votes, not to break the oath you took, but judge us all impartially. Don't be like the courtesans. You know, the others, I mean, those whose memories don't extend beyond the last affair they had.
Oh! Now is the time to dance! Now let us dance along the streets!
There are race my women dear.
And you too, French, should join the dance in the free style we set.
Splendid! There I go!
Stamp your feet to the rhythm. Think of what's coming. Slices of stonefish, and sharkfish, and dogfish, and catfish too. Pieces of mullet, pickled accompaniments.
Dripping with silky honey and olive oil, thrushes and blackbirds and pigeons and chickens and ringdoves and wild birds.
Fillets and ham meat and alcohol sauces. Now you've heard the list of dishes. Run along, pick up a plate. We'll win the prize. Hip hip hooray!
The end.
A Greek walks into a tailor. He holds up his trousers. The tailor says, Euripides. The guy says, Euripides.